Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. This is just a simple video, nothing fancy. So I realized that when I reviewed this Shanling EC Zero AKM that I didn't do a good job of really showing its functionality. And you'll have to forgive me because I was just like a day or two. Actually, I think that was the next day after I got home from the hospital. So I could have done a better job there. So I did want to share with you a bit more about its functionality and also to kind of address some of the comments. You're always going to have the people out there like, there's this one guy out there that was like, this D121 is infinitely better than this could ever be. And I bet this is working and this is just going to fall apart. I'm not trying to flip it off. This is just going to fall apart and all this stuff. Then the build quality is cheap and there's no comparison. And, because if you're of a similar age as me, brand was everything at some point, right? If it was a Sony, it meant it was good. If it was a white Westinghouse, maybe not so much. You know what I mean? Like the brand name was huge. And certainly in its day, the D121 was, and it still is, phenomenal for what it is. Many of them work. This one doesn't. It's no fault of its own. I've gone in here and tried to repair it, but I'm not a repair person. That's why it's a prop. But yeah, this is good. But this is so lightweight, plasticky, 100% plastic. And this is 100% metal and glass and, well, not 100%. There's some plastic in here, and yes, there's some metal in here, but you get what I'm saying, right? This is so much infinitely more rugged. And the internals, time will tell on the internals. It's hard to say, right? But what we're seeing with a lot of people in the market these days is they're using good quality components, and there's no reason to think otherwise in terms of durability. And then you're going to say, well, what about the built-in batteries? Aren't those terrible? I want to be able to put my AA's in, etc. Keep in mind that most rechargeable devices, or not most, some rechargeable devices have socketed batteries. So a little screwdriver, a battery, and whether it's 5-10 years, however long that battery lasts, it's still going to be a lot cheaper than slinging AA's in this thing all the time. That being said, I can't convey to you quality other than my experience using it. This is not a perfect CD player, but it's a heck of a nice one. So yeah, let's use it. Let's show how it works. The lid goes way up. This feels kind of loose and a little janky, how it just kind of teeters up there at 90 degrees. And it does have the clamp in the lid and instead of the snap-on spindle. So when we go to put a disc in, I'm going to use the Laura Ainsworth CD. You don't snap it down and anything, you just drop it into place. I'm going to give you guys a chance to listen to this too, just ambiently. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the display as I'm using it. Okay, so the power switch is on the side. Many times I've pressed and held play because I'm conditioned. It's kind of hard to see that display with the light in here, but you can see it's got your battery indicator. I don't like this cartoonish font. 12 tracks out of 12, table of contents data, 53 minutes, 51 seconds, play time, and then it times out. You can set the timeout and all that stuff. So if you don't like it shutting off that quick, you can adjust that. So hitting play again will spin up the disc. Also, of note, I'm not a huge fan of watching the disc spin. I think it's a bit nauseating, actually. If there was an option to have a solid door, I would take that over the glass. I know a lot of people love to watch their disc spin, and I think watching a record spin is nice, but it's kind of nauseating to watch this flashing disc, in my opinion. That's something the D121 definitely has going for it. And if I go into the menu here, let me get a better shot of the screen. Okay, there's a better shot of the screen there. Oops, I just shut off. So there's a better shot of the screen. You've got the battery indicator at the top right. The volume will not intelligently, but you will see an actual value as you adjust the volume. And as soon as you let go of the volume, it'll revert to the main screen. It's in play mode, PO for phones, headphone output, and there's gain settings, etc. So if I go into the menu, and to do that, I'm pressing this button right here. If I go into that menu, actually, I guess I have to press and hold that. Gain level is at high. I can switch that between high and low. Next up is the PCM filter. So I've got a short delay, slow, super slow. These are just sound effect versions of the output. So you can have different versions of how you want that to sound. Oops, and now we've gone through the other options. I mean, to do that as fast. Balance, brightness, etc. You kind of get the idea there. Headphone output or line output. And if I go around the horn again, I wanted to scroll through some of these. So these are different sound effects that you can get with the built-in DAC chip. And this, forget which one I had on there, but it kind of had like a warmer sound signature to it. And then these modes, you've got repeat all, repeat one, random, and that's it. It's not programmable, which I think is unfortunate. I think that a CD player, especially of this price point, should be definitely programmable. Screen timeout. I'm going to change that. And let's see what else we got. Balance left and right. I can't see many times when I would want to do that, but you could do that. And then back to that headphone output. Obviously, demonstrating the audio of a CD player could be done. I could do a direct feed, but it's going to get compressed on YouTube. So rather than do that, I'm just going to ambiently connect it. For a speaker today, I'll be going with this Studebaker. Very cool device. And it's got an aux input, which is perfect for us. We're just using the headphone output of the CD player. There is a line output on the back as well. But let's go ahead and see if we can get some audio. Skipping through. Is a hopeless jumble and the there's the same old. When you're done, just obviously the stop button, and then you can lift up on this latch. There's no like snap into position. It just kind of, there may be a magnet there, I'm not sure, but it just kind of clunks down. It's so rugged feeling. It just feels too heavy, too rugged. Oops. I guess you can play it with the lid open. Too heavy and too rugged to take it I wouldn't want to take this anywhere because I'd be afraid of dropping it. One drop on the concrete and it's toast. It's just, you know, it's metal and glass. It's going to shatter and break. This is like a carried around the house with you if you want a really hi-fi listening experience. Carrying it with two hands kind of a thing. It's just so, I don't want to say delicate because it's rugged, but it's metal and glass. I don't know how to, I keep saying that, but all right, let's go ahead and put an MP3 disc in there. I'm sure this will work fine. You know, just for grins. And yes, it does rip audio. Somebody asked about track names and metadata. You would need an internet connection for that, so it's not going to be able to do that. So it's just going to be generic track data, track 1, disc 1, folder 1 kind of stuff. But I don't have a compatible USB drive because it's going to have to do a USB-C. I don't have any thumb drives with you. Oops, that didn't sound good. Did you hear that? It was like spinning the clamp. I don't have any compatible thumb drives that would do that. I tried it via dongle, but it didn't work. All right, this is a DVD with WAV files. And the other reason why I'm even trying is because it does record lossless WAV files. So I thought maybe it could read them as well, but I doubt this is a DVD drive. It's possible, but let's see if it can pull anything off of a DVD drive. It says loading, and I'm guessing not, but just for grins. Yeah, no disc. Yeah, just for grins. Okay. Now let's try an MP3 disc. Should have a Y. This is one of the Kurt Knock auction radio shows, bidder request shows. And we'll hopefully get audio out of this. Yeah, there's no reason why this shouldn't work. Give it a minute to spin up there. Okay, that took longer to spin that up, but we got a table of contents now. I'm going to go ahead and hit play. It's definitely slower than doing the CD. It's very quiet. Let's see.
5 years ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. In 2 months, it'll be exactly
This is very interesting. That wasn't what I was expecting to hear. I was expecting to hear the beginning of his show. Sounds like it was an audio clip of some sort. There we go.
Transcribed from Fort Knox, this is the Vintage Record Auction 71 Bidder Request Show.
And last thing, when you're done pressing and holding the power button, you get some balloons and power off. Okay, so at the end of the day, it's a great CD player. It's not as portable as it should be. And I don't know, it's just weird to me. It's like a premium set-top, desktop, miniature CD player. Would be great if you wanted CD, didn't have any way to do that, and had a very limited small footprint on, you know, where you could put a device. Sound quality is phenomenal. I thought I would miss the R2R capability of the higher end one, the 500 plus one, but really I haven't been left wanting that at all. This has different tonality via those filters we talked about. So I'm able to get a warm sound signature or a more clinical one if that's what I'm going for. And it's just a treat to listen to. It really feels like a premium experience. Another thing I want to address, this question comes up when it comes to new tape players especially, but also CD players. And comparatively to some of the super slim Sonys and things of the 90s, people are like, why is it so big? Why is it so big? And that's because one of the secret things about a manufacturer was its tooling and its miniaturization, its design. Part of that was getting such a, because this is like similar size to some of the first, like a D50 or some of the first CD players out there. So even to get from that size to this size, Sony invested a lot in, you know, creating and designing components that were miniaturized. These new companies are starting from scratch. So when they're building new cassette players, you know, they're bigger, they're clunkier. They're building new CD players, they're bigger, they're clunkier. It's oftentimes because they don't have any existing tooling to go off of and they're doing it from scratch. But that kind of gives it sort of a hand-tooled, handmade, custom feel to it, and I think lends itself to that high quality aesthetic. So anyway, there's a little bit more of the Shanling EC Zero AKM. Again, this is the $300 and change one that has the AKM DAC versus the in-house R2R DAC that the EC Zero T had. And that one also had tubes. This one doesn't, but I don't want anything beyond this. For this device. I think it's a great one. So again, always want to hear your comments, questions in the comment section below. Thanks as always for all your support. Love you guys. Happy record hunting, and we'll see you next time.